Ha! Those are my shoes. Got you guys good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. That's right. We love that part. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Is the show starting? Oh, it must be. We heard our introduction. Everybody loves us. Whoa, giddy up, girl. We're going to be late. Hurry up. Thank you for that warm introduction. Excellent. Good girl. Get out of here. And the horse you rode. In on. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, nuns and all. That's right, priests, preachers, bishops, cardinals, rabbis, weirdos with beardos, Alcoholics Anonymous, whoever's around kicking it, looking to hang out, have that of themselves a good old-fashioned, we'll say, time, okay? We don't want to use words like good or bad, okay, per se, okay? Now, sure. Without it being, at least deductively reasoned that it's free. That's right. Keep in mind you get what you pay for. That's right. Welcome one, welcome all. We've got a show for you today. That's right, that's right. We were sitting back and thinking to ourselves, it's Sunday, and believe you me, a lot of people tend to associate that of Sunday with a day of rest and things of that nature, right? Well, that's right. For a lot of people, it's the end of a weekend and or the end of a weekend. Okay? Some folks treat it as that of a day of, rest, that of a day of giving thanks and praise to that of insert deity here that resonates with that of individual who it resonates with. Either way you look at it, the day continues, the day goes on, and everyone's going to be subjectively under the considerations and guise of that, how the day feels it for them and themselves, okay? So, on the one hand, you got donuts, okay? Everyone loves donuts, for the most part. Believe you me, some people don't. And on the other hand, you got Jesus, okay? That's right. A lot of people love Jesus. Okay. So, on the both hands, thusly, you have donuts and Jesus. Okay? So, we figured we could make a show out of that. Okay? Now, you might be saying there's no way you can make a show out of donuts and Jesus. But, believe you me, thumbnail's done. We already did. We said everyone's going to entertain that of the day on their own accord and merits and desires to do that of which they do. Many folks tend to, hang out with Jesus and then have donuts thereafter. Join us in the reception hall after the ceremony for donuts. Okay? If there was a heavenly creation, many would argue maybe donuts was that of it, okay? Now, obviously, if you don't like donuts, that's right, get them out of here. Good. We can't have non-donut lovers around here. They probably don't like Jesus either. You should love donuts and Jesus, probably. I mean, we're not saying that you shouldn't love donuts and Jesus, but if we were to say that you should, we would be more on that side of it, okay? Believe you me, you make a lot more friends with pouring honey all over your chest and rubbing it on your than you do vinegar. Wait a minute, what? Disregard that last thing. This is all for philosophical entertainment. We might have misspoken. Matters not. The alternative isn't vinegar, okay? It's maple syrup. They're both sticky, honey and maple syrup. You can use both if you wish. That's right. They're expensive. And just use jelly. Use the Chris Rock special. That's right. Use jelly or syrup. I prefer syrup. What's a Chris Rock? Point is that you might be saying to yourself, like, there's no way that you can make a show out of donuts and Jesus. But when people love donuts and, on the other hand, people love Jesus, we don't see how you can't. When we called Daryl Dixon dibs at being the best of the worst, internet celebrity there is, man, that's right. You might be a little familiar with a show called Walking Dead, okay? Well, we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, okay? So, that being the case, obviously, we got to come with the goods, okay? Now, those goods are always going to kind of suck. Best of the worst, right? That's right. We know our place. We know you are. Yes, hello, and hi. Who's that? Matthew? We can call you Matthew, right? Of course we can. M-Dog. We're just saying, how, we can, in essence, pretty much do that of what we contemplate, that of what we assume, that of what we wish to, all right? With that of where we sit on donuts and Jesus itself, right? Okay, now you might be saying to yourself, what does this have to do with anything at all, right? Believe you me, we wish we knew. Because when you have the tendencies to ramble and get on all these tangents and introspections into that of the metaphysical and things of that nature, okay? Now you tend to lose your place. Believe you me, Matthew, show's yours. You hijacked it. You get to do whatever you want now. That's right. Your plans were probably far better than our own, okay? If we're being honest. The mere explanation of Daryl Dixon dibs being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is merely just as discussion in that of where we know our place to be. We're never going to replace all of your most favorite shows or your good streamers that you like and love, okay? We know we can't do that. That's why we don't even try. We get to be that of, the back you get to walk on, okay? Now, we're into some kinky stuff on occasion, believe you me. Sometimes we enjoy it. When we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst, okay, internet celebrity there is, we knew what our place was going to be. Inherently, bottom of the stack, okay? No holds barred. But, with that, place that we take, okay, you're welcome. With that place that we take, all right, it affords everything else that you watch, everything else guaranteed that you watch aside from this show to be better, okay? Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts, okay? Now, you might be saying, well, what's the point then? Why even start at the ground floor level if you want to just jump straight to the top? Well, believe you me, you don't get to just start at the top and be at the top. Okay? Now, remember, that's where you're trying to go and see and watch and do. Well, the top ain't there right now, huh? You're left with leftovers, okay? Where are the leftovers? Yeah. You can play with us, you can mess with us, you can do that if you will, okay? Inherently, when we claimed being the best of the worst with the Daryl Dixon dibs, okay? That's right, Walking Dead implemented dibs, okay? It works in society. We knew where our place was going to be, okay? So we're going to stay right there at the bottom ground floor level so that everything else that you watch is guaranteed to be better. Now, you might be saying that you wish that we would take it upon ourselves to go to greater lengths, attempt more massive monumental achievements and things of that, and the, stream and the disseminations and the techniques and usages there with and thereof, right? Might be like, hey, put some effort into it. Well, believe you me, when we go to our marketing meetings and things of that nature, all right, we talk about this stuff with management, okay? And because this is all for philosophical entertainment, obviously, when we talk to management, inherently, we make it known where the direction is that, we as the artist, okay, as the face, want the, show to go. Then management chimes in with whatever stupid shit they say, okay? It's management. They think they know how to run the place. And, we go from there, okay? So we'll go to these meetings with marketing and stuff like that, and they'll be like, oh, plan the show out, do better, put some effort into it, right? And everyone else is like, yeah, exactly, they're applauding it, cheering it on. We're like, well, isn't there a shortcut for, garnering some extra views? Let's just utilize some of those marketing tactics and techniques that, big companies do on interstates, freeways, highways, stuff like that, right? Why not just utilize what at hand exists? So that's why we got the wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy, so that way we could maybe drive ones of some scripifications and viewers without having to put in any effort, okay? Because just like businesses off of the highway or road, why put an effort into your marketing when you can have some big floppy thing do it for you? Believe you me, Chippendales would thrive on such marketing tactics and techniques. Is that still a place? I don't know. Point is that regardless of how you attempt to, adhere to that of what management deems as good techniques or strategies, or your marketing department, this, that, the other, inherently, wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guys do the trick. Mostly. Doesn't matter. Now, as we venture into that of the actual core of the show, okay, that's right, might be saying enough goofing around, enough joking around and talking to Matthew in the chat. We still call you Matthew, right? Of course we can. M-Dog. So, M-Dog, as we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, all right, we know that inherently it's going to result and reside, okay, and only become that of what it is, wish to be, okay? So, inherently, as we float it and fluff it and stuff ourselves, okay, believe you me, nothing wrong with being a fluffer. It's an honorable profession. My uncle's a fluffer. His uncle was a fluffer. What the hell's this show about? What? Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Huh? What? Anyhow, as we venture into that of the core of the show itself, we find it inherently one of the better circumstances, with it being Sunday, with it being that of a day of rest, all right? For us to sit back and actually just merely rest and enjoy that of, a cup of our swill, and not inherently have to carry a conversation, carry a show, do anything that is, conversatively perplexing to that of our mind or thoughts, okay? Now, obviously, the show must go on and a thought must be carried, okay? But there's easy ways to go about that, okay? That's right. We could merely sit here and babble about and carry on this, that, the other, and really not inherently say anything at all. That's right, we wouldn't like that either. When we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, we knew we'd have to come with some good shit, okay? That's why we offer all of the games and demos and things like that for free on the IPFS, okay? Inherently, that's where the good stuff is. This is just the show. The free show. That's right. As we entertain that of, what is, what could be, in the conversation pertaining to anything from Doughnuts to that of Jesus, since it is a inherently unorthodox show in nature, why not just read a little bit from our literary works, starting with, Why Hast Thou Forsaken Me? That's right, you might be saying, good, now I don't gotta buy that shit. What? Who said that? Mom, we're trying to peddle our wares. Knock it off. Trying to get people to buy this. Huh? What? We don't have a roof, but remember, everything's fine. Okay. Huh, what? What do you mean? Okay, so we will, so you don't have to go buy it because no one wants to spend, let's say, $6, $7 on a book. Well, the digital ones, of course, are far cheaper. We'll just read you some of it for free. Why not? You're not buying it anyway. You know how much we made in our literary sales last month from Kindle Unlimited? 11 cents, okay? That wasn't a joke. Why would you laugh at that? You're ruthless, Internet. You would celebrate that? All right, so you don't got to go buy it. Let's see. Let's do a reading. For that of the ground, that which we see, that which we stand upon, being within the confines of the firmament of your most wondrous separation of creation from that of yada, 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 there's more in there. Now, believe you me, what a cliffhanger. Screw that, dude. Finish reading it. What? Huh? Yeah, that's available on Amazon.com. Was that the question? Huh? I thought it was. I don't know. $1.49 or something like that digitally or something. I don't know. We don't know. But we can't just read from Why Hast Thou Forsaken Me when we got other books like Transmutating God and, Bless Me, Father, for I Have Sinned, and things like that nature. So we'll just keep reading from them because why not? That way you don't have to buy them. So here's a reading from Transmutating God. Yet another one you won't have to buy now. Don't listen to him. He's just going to leave a cliffhanger again. We're going to want to go buy it. What? Who said that? Mom, stop making better jokes than us. Gonna drive away our clientele. Everything's fine. Huh? What? Yeah. Kindle Unlimited. Search Shyzabox books, and we get 0.04 cents per page read. That's right. It equates to ones of cents in no time. You might be saying, no wonder he doesn't have a roof in the studio. Huh? He made 11 cents. What? Wow. We invested that 11 cents that we made in our literary sales as paid authors right back into the show. You're welcome. How'd you spend all 11 cents that you made in your book sales? What? How'd we reinvest in the channel and the show the 11 cents that we made in our literary book sales from Kindle Unlimited? You think we're clowning around? No, we reinvest all that we make. There is no clowning around here. We got 11 cents, we spend 11 cents, damn it. Believe you me. There's ways to spend 11 cents that you probably never knew existed. Okay? People market and strategize that of how they will, that of how they wish. Okay? Inherently, we like to utilize wacky, waving, inflatable, flailing arm guy because it's guaranteed to work. It drives subscripifications up ones at a time. That's right. Before you know it, there's no more clowning around. Okay? It's straight to the goods. But, alas, no matter how you sit back, how you think that, things may dwell, pertain, go, or anything like that, just remember, inherently, everything's fine. What? Oh, the reading? Yeah, we can do some Transmutating God literary reading for you. You don't ask, we deliver. We're like reverse dominoes up in this piece. We didn't want this show at all. Well, you get it. It's free. Show sucks. What? So, it's supposed to, obviously. Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst. Everything else you watch is going to inherently be better. That's our guarantee to you. But since we said we would do a literary reading so you didn't have to buy one of our books, so we will. This one's from Transmutating God, one of our more newer ones. That's right. People love more newer ones. Here's a good one. Chapter 7, great for Shyzalosophy 101. That's right. Inherently, it's where it begins and where it ends. At the beginning. Chapter 7, all right, is that of which affords us the opportunity to adjust, to maintain trajectory and course of thought and theorem and theory, and that of our, contemplative thoughts and analysis, and this, that, the other, with which may need to be maintained, rectified, certified, and or contemplated by the likes of that of man. Now, you might be saying, what the hell kind of word salad was that? Right? Now, keep in mind, as philosophers, arguably maybe not good ones, doesn't matter. All good philosophers, okay, and we're not saying we are good, okay, but all philosophers, good or not, in order to even have their name on the test, who is a good philosopher, okay? All of them need to have their own poetry book and things of that nature, okay? That's known, okay? That's why we have one, okay? So while we might not be a good or great philosopher, our name gets to be on the test. Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is. That's right. That's why we have a poetry book, okay? A little delayed laughter, that's right, but we are so funny it took you a while to get the joke, okay? We understand. You are forgiven. We have that of the poetry book. Yes, better. So that our name can at least be in the conversation thereof and therewith, okay? And, believe you me, there's more lore to dive into when that of the free show is not offered, okay? You can jump into that of the contemplative thoughts or crazy ramblings of that of good old Shyzabox, should you choose, and any endeavor means that you wish. But, as we said, this is for the name to be in the conversation. Okay? That's why we have that of our own poetry book. Philosophers need to wear their hearts on their sleeves. Okay? They need to be willing to be audited and looked at and scrutinized under that of a magnifying glass or a microscope. Okay? You can't inherently claim to be a philosopher and then hide behind any of that of which you do or offer. Okay? Inherently, that is not being a philosopher. You need to be as open as that of Plato and or Aristotle from that of back in the day, okay? That's why we like to offer all of our computational thought, data, theory, anything when we venture into that of metaphysical things pertaining to Aristotle, St. Thomas Aquinas, this, that, the other, and that of even, Pythagoras or things like that, okay? That's why we have all of our mathematical computations open source. All our Kaggle notebooks, link in the descriptification to a couple of them, because we have a variety and many iterations thereof. Okay? With which theory and or, ideas under that and the guise of practicing cosmological philosophy, with which would you like to endeavor? Okay? Because believe you me, we're willing to get on any roller coaster ride that you want to get on with us. There's no required size to ride this roller coaster, but you do have to be an adult, okay? So I guess there is a required size of adulthood, okay? We're not going to sugarcoat things or handhold anything with especially Eastern philosophy anymore either. Now, we'll answer any question willingly, but it holds the show up far, far, far too much, and we go down rabbit holes and tangents trying to explain Eastern philosophy and that of just what is the meta of thought, okay? You start at a ground foundation, okay? That's why we have a new non-native species on mankind's origin, okay? Everyone needs to just inherently agree, okay, that we want truth, we want light, we want justice, we want a means and an avenue, okay, to take care of all of the mishaps and problems, all right, that mankind has literally, as its own yoke, put as a stumbling block upon its trajectory, okay? Mankind got it wrong, humanity got it wrong in history and recorded dealings and that of our usages with that of technologies, okay? why the creation is needed of so many data centers to maintain logically what should not necessitate that of which, okay, is merely a decision in that of mankind's decisions to use that of something as simple as conduction versus induction, okay? There are so many logical, theoretical ways. Now, again, this is all for philosophical entertainment. Now, gotta protect ourselves somehow, right? But we don't hide behind our math. We don't hide behind our science. It's open source. Go audit the shit out of it, okay? We don't hide behind it. You know someone who's good at math? Send them the link to our Kaggle. Send them the tax one. We pull numbers from the national database, okay? We're all overpaying. We're all being, kind of screwed. You want more visualization? Go follow us at Bluesky and or X, should you choose or want to. Go find our posters. It's reverses backwards. Who cares? Internet magic, little bit. Go find our poster or whatever to explain that of the Kaggle tax notebook, all right? Now, you need not do this. For, of course, pertaining to that of Doughnuts, pertaining to that of Jesus, it's all irrelevant, right? That of the show, that of what is, that of what can be, matters not inherently, because that of what is shall be and shall is. So, whether we feel mankind got it wrong, or whether mankind feels mankind got it right, matters not. That of our literary works and endeavors and efforts to, try and correct the efforts and that of mankind, which we feel we inherently got wrong as mankind, is done. Okay? Mankind can either choose to, like it, accept it, read it, look at it, and or not. It doesn't matter. But as we promised, we will do a reading from Transmutating God. But yeah, as we said, the foundational basis for everyone to at least come to the table and talk, okay, needeth lie within one's ability to merely reasonably ascertain that it is a necessity for individuals to work together to achieve a greater good. Okay? Anyone, and again, this is very, very just kind of basic in nature. You can go read Common Sense or anything like that. Okay? Entity that chops down a tree that goes to build that of their own house is going to struggle very much so to do that of which entirely incumbently on their own accord. If you collectively do a swarm and work together with that of, any degree of more hands-on labor, manpower, this, that, the other, you're going to have a far more efficient experience and time therewith. Okay? It's just how it works. Okay? The more correlative thought and, kickback, pushback, reasoning, and things of that nature that are given, afforded to anyone, afford that the opportunity to proceed and progress under the guise of where it necessitates it be taken. This is all for philosophical entertainment. You don't have to read any of our books for that of our computational theory and mathematical code to exist. That's right. That's why we offer those things for free. Go audit the shit out of us, okay? But if you want to play in that of the conscious thought and that of what we disseminate and that of the mind, that of the metaphysical parameters of conscious thought and the dissemination techniques therewith, well, that's all behind a little bit of a paywall. Hey, $6-7, right? Because it depends on the work. Don't buy the physical copy of Delectable. It's expensive as shit. It has to be. But as we promised, we'll do a reading from Transmutating God, and we will showcase Chapter 7. Okay? Because, as we said, Chapter 7 inherently is very specific, all right, for the corrections of even that of with Shyzalosophy, okay, being a living philosophical practice, a seeking of truth with symbiotic iterations and, endeavors to do such. With that being the case, all right, even a collective can get it wrong, okay? An individual, an entity, an entire society can be mistaken bacon. That's right. Not good. Usually not a good outcome. Usually a lot of kneeling down and asking for forgiveness at the back end of all that, all right? Less donuts, more Jesus in those times, huh? Yeah. society going to hell, everything going down ways. Better turn from donuts, turn to Jesus. They're both delicious. Both can suit your appetite. Both donuts and Jesus go great with milk. Theoretically, I don't know. Just remember, as we venture in, we'll do a reading of chapter 7. No matter what, everything's fine. What was that? Huh? Yeah. All right, so, without further ado, chapter 7. As we continually dive further and further into that of our studies and works, we find it enjoyable to include that of our chapter 7s. Excellent. Now, believe you me, exactly. That's why we told you chapter 7s are very, very, very important in that of our, philosophical works. But before we get any further in that of this show, and before we showcase any more of that of the, inherent structures of either, both donuts and that of their spherically kind of looking nature, and their delicious frosting and things of that nature that get put on top to bedazzle them in deliciousness. Jesus is delicious too. That's right. Everything can be delicious. Before we venture further, though, we do need to issue an apology. That's right. Like we said, we can't be perfect. Jesus already was. Is. Insert here how you will. We must issue an apology pertaining to our last stream. So pertaining to our last stream, sure that accord, right? Yeah. You try. On occasion, you trying equals and results in failure. I don't know why you'd laugh at that. As long as it's not yours, right? Ruthless. Let's try once again, even if it went through in one chopped up version, manner or another. Okay, we saw we had some technical difficulties and things of that nature, and beyond our control. When you're the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, no. Well, we called Daryl Nixon dibs after all. You got to put up with that of what you need to, okay? So, once again, pertaining to our last stream, sorry about that. Excellent. All right. So, now, as we sit back and think to ourselves, what inherently do you're leaving your safe space, right? Where do you venture and choose to embark upon when you're afforded the opportunities to go get you a big plate of donuts, right? Now, metaphysically, it's all for philosophical entertainment. If you're leaving that of your safe space place, right? And you have the opportunity to go get you a delicious big plate of donuts, right? Everyone loves that. Unless you don't love donuts, okay? On your way back to your safe place, if someone asks you, hey, can I have one of those donuts? Do you give them a donut? I mean, we're just wondering. Now you might be saying, like, hell no, I drove. They don't even know I have them, right? Well, seems kind of selfish. But we understand. You know how much a dozen of donuts are nowadays? More than we made in our literary book sales. last month and the month before. Huh? Why would you celebrate that? Internet, ruthless as can be, we expect nothing less, for we are one of thee. Yes. That's why we knew when we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, we would have to contend with all manner and means of being the best of the worst. Hey, let's be honest. With our guarantee of everything else inherently being better, hey, we're not afforded the opportunity to necessarily put a roof over our heads, right? Now, you want us to get wet, right? Good old Shyzabox be the good old wet blanket in the corner. Taking that of our conscious thought and that of our literary works and wares and being like, there's no way in hell I'm going to ever buy pickled punk philosophy. Okay? So there's nothing punk rock about philosophy. How can you pickle punk a philosopher? Well, it's easy. You soak it in brine, okay? Obviously. Now, for those who don't want to buy or go and venture into the thoughts, okay, for pickled punk philosophy, available on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited for the low price of, I don't know, $6-7. You might need to remember where you need to go to get it, Amazon.com or Kindle Unlimited. Okay? That being the case, obviously, while you're there, you might as well pick up an officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal, right? No, that's right. That way you can watch any live stream. Doesn't have to be this one, okay? Yeah. You watch any live stream you want, you can take notes on it. Okay? You'll never be without your thought. Now you might be saying, where can I go to get an officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal, right? Well, you ask, we tell you. You don't ask, we tell you anyway. You obviously go to Amazon.com or Kindle of the Unlimited, search Shyzabox books, right? That's right. You get it that way. Because there's only one way to truly appreciate that of an officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal, and that's to have one. You might be saying to yourself, show us the goods. Well, the officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal is not only inherently going to fill the need, all right, and fill the role of anyone who needs a live stream note-taking journal, okay, with which they don't even have to watch, like we said, this show to use it, okay? Anyone can watch any live stream of their choice, okay? That's right. And you can appreciate the aspect and component that the live stream note-taking journal is available for you to use, okay? Now, obviously, not everyone wants an officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal. Well, but everyone should probably get one. Believe you me, they're super overpriced because we get $5. That's the only one that we really inherently make money on. But you don't got to pick that one up either. You know why? Because we like to do readings and give them in components and aspects thereof for free. Now, we may not read them in their entirety, and we may leave little cliffhangers here and there, all right? But when we venture upon that of the path of leaving that of our safe space and environment, okay? And we go to get that of our metaphysical donuts. Speaking of donuts, they sound good right now. Maybe we should get one. As we leave that of our safe space and go and get that of our metaphysical plate of donuts, okay, we still strive and try, all right, whether we've written it in our officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal or not, okay, we still strive and try, all right, to bring forward and bring out that of the better part of us, that of the ability to ask for and seek forgiveness, as well as to forgive as well. Okay? So believe you me, good old Shyzabox is not perfect. Okay, now I already said the show inherently has two more perfect things already. Okay? Doughnuts and Jesus. How can Shyzabox compete? We are but a mere mortal. We got literally Doughnuts and Jesus. Okay? We compete not with that of which we know is better. But man, do we love any scraps left over, right? That's right. If anyone's got extra Jesus to go around, we love extra Jesus. You can't have my donuts, you son of a bitch. What? Who said that? It's pretty mean, Mom. You made us go get them for you with your money. We only ate 2 on the way home, now we can't have them? Last time I asked you for a favor. How's that a favor for us to have to leave and go get them? They were delicious. They forgot to give us 2. What the hell is this show? What? Just remember, everything's fine. Oh, what? Yeah. Well, as we venture into that of the remaining part of Sunday, that of the remaining part of maybe seeking that of additional donuts or Jesus. Who knows? There's still a good bit of the day to go. Might be able to find donuts and Jesus in the same place. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of heavenly delight in some donuts for our appetite. We could put that on a shirt, yes, but why do that of which would be work when you can just go give us money on Cashapp? That's right. Remember, you take care of yourself first, because there's only one you, and no matter how tried and true our antics may be, no matter how crazy our marketing budget is to try and elicit subscribifications and that of endeavors and entities to come to the channel utilizing the tactics and techniques given to us through the guise of mankind's knowledge of how to market to individuals scrolling and passing through on that of the internet. Obviously, wacky, waving, inflatable, flailing arm guy is the way to go. So you remember to take care of yourself first, because there's only one you, okay? That's right, we can't replace you easily. You know, we can't go and make a bunch of fake accounts all the time. Believe you me, it takes a lot of time. So you take care of yourself first, because there's only one you. Then you look around and you take care of anyone else who super needs it second, okay? Because there are people out there who really need help and maybe don't even know how to ask for it, okay? It's nothing to laugh at. It's kind of messed up. You're ruthless, Internet. You are a ruthless bunch. Again, you celebrate. You look around the room after that, okay? You might see us in the corner peddling our officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal or anything like that. Okay? Our crazy works, our poetry books, our theological works transmutating God, okay? Our angsty pickled punk philosophy, angry at mankind, not mankind, more Wikipedia, who exhibited the failings of mankind and that of our monographing of lectin in our philosophical book, Delectable, okay? That's right, don't buy the physical copy of that one one's expensive. You might see us sitting around that room too, peddling our wares and this, that, the other, okay? That's right, you tell us, get bent, get out of the way, whatever. See? Then anything left over, you know, beggars can't be choosers. You know that. So, like we said, we don't want your subscription, we want your money. Downvote the shit out of this. Go to Cashapp and give us a buck, or go to Amazon.com, buy one of our books, or Kindle Unlimited, search Shyzabox books, and read one of those. Get off our lawn!